Hello. Welcome to the Kirby Fair Show. I am joined by the beautiful, gray-eyed Sam Old. Sam, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy Juneteenth.
Thank you.
Shout out.
I remember back in the day, maybe like, how old am I? I guess I'm 26, so probably like 15 years ago, maybe, when Juneteenth wasn't a thing. Well, it's recently a thing, but like my mom took me to like a Juneteenth celebration in Baton Rouge. And I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, it's about cowboys? Cool. But yeah, we're enjoying. I mean, I'm always off. Sam is off. So we're doing an early pod, which is slightly a problem. I hope you will forgive us that the Pacers and the Thunder are playing later today. So we will lightly cover that because I don't want all of this to be a wash and we give our great opinions and the series could be over tonight. So
we'll find out.
Other than that, Sam, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, my job, we moved into a new office, so enjoying that. I've been moving to a new place, so about to have a different background. Probably by the next episode, I'll be in the new place.
Yeah, do you have a spot scouted out?
Yep, it's I got a whole one of the bedrooms as being my office, so we'll see how that goes. You know, the work from home life need my office somewhere.
But I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I've had a crazy day. I've had a crazy last week, actually. I went to, Uncle Jeff is going to listen to this, so I'm going to keep this light. But went to Atlanta for Caroline's cousin's wedding, which was delightful. I, of course, was deemed life of the party.
Always.
Wasn't hard to do. No one was dancing. And so I had to go ask the DJ. I was like, hey, DJ, because we were like playing Mr. Brightside and I was not, the alcohol was not hitting my receptors fast.
Wasn't there yet. Yeah.
So I was like, hey, Mr. DJ, can we play a little Black people music? And he was like, look, there's literally a list of songs I have to get through.
Okay.
And then so I'm like, okay, well, can we at least play the cha-cha slide? So I got that played.
The whites can get along with that.
I was like, literally the directions are in the song. And then just ended up doing like the fish dance by the end of the night. Jumping up and down. Booty dropped with the granny. It was a great time, but look, I might need to be a party promoter at some point. Like I'm thinking like all the bat mitzvahs would be a really good role for me. But beyond that, I'll be out of town again this weekend for the College World Series. Shout out Mom, getting me tickets. Shout out Cassie Huey and Ben Nuclear Guy for hosting me. Shout out the universe for making this happen. Because on Tuesday, I was like, man, should we go? And then I was like, if they go, I'm going to go. Because it's like the closest I've ever been to Omaha in Chicago.
That's true.
It's only a 7-hour drive, so I was like, "Oh, this is like doable."
You're gonna drive it?
If they can go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a big driver. I like to drive. Like I drove all the way here from Boston.
That's right.
Which is 17 hours. And unfortunately, I can't say I drove the entire way from Louisiana to Boston last summer because Caroline drove 1 hour. Yeah.
Next time.
Ruined my streak. But anyway, we're doing that this weekend. I don't know. There's a lot going on. It's the most convoluted plan you've ever seen. Like I met this guy at the wedding that was like, I was like, what are you doing? He was like, logistics. And obviously, what does that even mean? So he explained that if you need something to be shipped from here to random place in Asia that needs to be at 2 degrees to 8 degrees exactly, he can do it. And I feel like after this, need a job. Like I can excel at a job in logistics. I have solved so many problems. We're talking hotels. We're talking flights from Baton Rouge because my mom wants to come, of course, because she got the ticket. So I'm picking her up in Des Moines on my way to Omaha.
Yeah.
And then we're driving back to Des Moines, got a hotel there that night. And then she's flying out in the morning. And then I guess I'll drive. I don't even know, man. Like, she's going to have to drive from Omaha to Des Moines for sure because she tried to be like, oh, Kirby, why don't we like make a promise to each other that we're gonna only have one drink? I'm like, do you know how long baseball games are?
9 innings,
like, come
at
on,
least.
Steph. Like, why am I going? It's like the biggest party in town, basically. So I'm excited to do that. But beyond that, Sam, maybe I should talk about a little sports.
Maybe I'll give one quick shout out. If I'm thinking correctly, the Des Moines Airport, pretty nice.
Oh, really?
It's my one little shout out. If I'm thinking of the right Iowa airport, we'll find out.
Let's dive into the show here.
Let's do it.
Not that this isn't all a part of the show. Yeah, the rundown, guys. So a couple years ago, maybe last year, there was an episode where I said, look, misogynists, don't listen. And this, again, is one of those episodes. This is heavy on the WNBA and will be a lot of me explaining drama. And Sam probably sitting there being like,
Shout out.
Shout out, Sam. Always good to listen to me ramble. The WNBA mayhem. The Fever takedown, just to glaze over a little bit, Fever takedown the Liberty 102-88 this past weekend, leaving no more teams in the WNBA undefeated. And this was huge. After 3 weeks of recovery, she had a hamstring injury. Caitlin Clark has returned back to the court, and she is making a stank for sure. Dropped 32 points in the Liberty game. So, I mean, when she's hitting from there, she had like a streak of like 4 threes in a row. But yeah. And the main point that I want to get across in this episode, Sam, is that the Fever are becoming the bad boys, the bullies of the WNBA. There's only one thing I really know. Well, there's two. Two things I really know about the NBA in the 90s. One is Michael Jordan. And 2 is that the Pistons in the 90s were the dirtiest team you've ever seen. And they were called the Bad Boys. We got
the Bad Boys.
Dennis Rodman, notably bad boy, doesn't talk to his daughter. So, but I mean, they were hard on defense and definitely hard on teams. Gave Larry Bird and Michael Jordan a bit of a definitely, what can you say? Put some body on him. And that was back when you could literally like bring a knife onto the court in the NBA. So we want to shout out Paige Beckers. She is doing it all. Great rookie. We'll talk about her a little bit and how she's advancing in the game. And then also, like I said, Pacers, just an awareness point. Pacers are down 3-2 to the Thunder. Game tonight. Pacers can force a game 7, which would be crazy, and no one's going to see that coming because the Thunder are technically better.
Yeah, we'll talk about NBA Finals probably next episode. They'll probably be done by that point.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Just hit us with a subscribe, like this episode, 5 stars, and we'll hit you with the finals next episode.
Yes, women this week. We'll do the men next week. And then honorable mention, like I alluded to, LSU is going to the College World Series finals this weekend. They'll play Coastal Carolina. Wow. So kind of just like one of those weird teams. It feels like that pops up and has a really good baseball team. It feels like, that kid that is in your high school and they go, oh yeah, I'm going to Coastal Carolina. And you're like... Are you good at that sport, or are you just...
There probably are people from my high school that did go to Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. You're like, oh, well, did you just like really want to keep playing baseball in college?
I had people from my high school go to NC State for basketball. Also,
well, that's like a
sorry,
team.
Not basketball, for baseball. And also, I was going to say for the women's basketball. There's a WNBA... I don't know if she's still in it or not, but she went to my high school.
Shout out. Greensboro producing gods out there. And then Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup. They go back to back. Florida is taking over the ice sports. And so they're going to definitely need to work on that erosion and, maybe believe in climate change a little bit to protect those coasts, since now they're good at hockey. And also Angel Reese, not just her first career triple-double. We're very proud of you on the Kirby Ferris showing. Yes, you might say Caitlin Clark has already gotten a couple, but hey, There's enough room in my heart, and there should be enough room in everyone's heart in the entire sports world to be appreciative of Angel Reese getting her first career triple-double. And we hope to see more from that. More of you in that sense. Angel, love you, girly. Sam, let's just jump into the NBA Finals, get it out of the way.
Get out of the way. Yep. Honestly, I wasn't able to watch Game 5, as has been requested, I think, by Uncle Jeff. It's true. The allegations are true. I have a girlfriend, and she was back from an international trip when Game 5 was happening. So I only saw the end of it and all the memes that Tyrese Halliburton didn't really have a good game. Only had 4 points. Ended up getting hurt. So now I think he's out tonight. I don't know. As far as I know, he's out. But
I think it's
Kirby, why don't you
time.
Yeah.
Well, I want to back up.
What was Game 5 like? Yeah.
I want to back up actually.
Okay.
So you've been dating this lovely lady for a while now.
Yep,
why haven't you brought her up?
I don't know. We're talking about sports, not my personal life.
That's exactly what a podcast is for. Like literally to talk about your personal life.
Well,
this isn't, I mean, ESPN isn't even that technical anymore. Like, this isn't like the Rich Eisen show. You know, I'm not Colin Cowherd over here. Like, you know, Caroline's a big part of my watching experience with sports. Sarah, I'm sorry, Sarah. I don't even know if she listens to this. I really hope you do, because Sam is a freaking star. Let's be honest. I was thinking, I was like, oh, I should text him to have her listen to it on her way back from Ghana, because like literally what else would she do if she can't squeeze in 45 minutes on a 19-hour flight? Yeah. But anyways, so we'll give you a break there, Sam. We do want to hear about the lovely lady in your life. People are concerned that you're alone in this world. And I had to really say, no, Sam is fine, guys. He has a girlfriend. She's beautiful. She's nice. She's a nurse. She's smart. And they're like, how is Sam not talking about this woman? And I'm like, that's a really good point. Anyways,
I don't know.
Tyrese Halliburton, Pacers star, is currently hurt. He got hurt in Game 5. We don't really know much about it, but he kept playing, only got 4 points though, so it wasn't like super impactful. He's TBD to play tonight. But he is one of those players where he can play at 75% and like still have an impactful game because he's not like heliocentric. But I think
I like that. Heliocentric.
Thank you. When I think of that word, it is all about Luka Doncic, and I just see this massive, like super massive halo around him that like goes up to the sky. Because that man is the definition of heliocentric. You get on LeBron's team and LeBron's like, all right, I guess here's the ball. Because you know when Anthony Davis got there, it was supposed to be Anthony Davis's team. And then Anthony Davis was like, LeBron was like, taking that ball back. No, team. Sir, no way you're running this team. And look who got traded. But anyways, the Pacers really should have won Game 4. I was actually pretty nervous about it because they were winning and then they lost. So I was like, that's the Pacers' job to come back.
Yeah. It was kind of like a reverse Game 1 where like OKC was in control and then the Pacers came back. But this Game 4 was Pacers in control and OKC came in to win.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch Game 5 because I started doing this like sort of sport. I don't know. It's one of the weirdest situations I've been in a while. I'm doing this like on-field reporting situation, but I'm like an intern, but also I don't know if I'm going to be invited back. So we'll see. Who knows? I have to like work my way up to color analysis, which is totally fine because I have to, as he said it, pay my dues. And I was like, have you ever listened to the Kirby Ferris show? Bruh. Yes, NBA Finals. I would say the odds are in the Thunder to win this one, but we'll see next week. If you probably are my target demographic, you will not know whether they won or not until you listen to this podcast. So we'll be back next week to tell you what happened.
Yeah, and really quick, one last note on NBA. You mentioning Luka reminded me of this, but the Lakers, the Buss family has sold the Lakers for $10 billion. I guess Jeannie Buss will stay on as governor of the team, whatever that means afterwards. But
Stephanie Ferris would say governess.
Governess. But yeah, $10 billion. Oof, a lot of money.
I think they bought it. What was it? $675,000. It was
back in the.
That feels wrong. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, I was missing a couple zeros. 67.5 million.
And what year was that?
9. Let's see what that is in today's money.
Yeah.
In today's money, $2.96 billion. So, an $8 billion profit or $7 billion profit is not the worst thing I've ever heard. Good bank account for a couple years here. Generational wealth from the Buss family. And they were known as the ones that were they had all their money in the Lakers. So now they're going to be a very wealthy family. And I guess they're like, we got to get out of here before LeBron dips.
Yeah, let's see. Put on your tinfoil hat. The commissioner forced the Luka trade to the Lakers, get the team value up, sell it for $10 billion, and when those 2 expansion teams come rolling around, it's going to cost a little bit more. That's just the talk of the town is that they want to. I think the next team that they want to do is get one in Vegas. So.
Oh yeah, that's LeBron's goal. So.
Yeah.
Or bring the Sonics back. Heck.
I think that's also been talked about.
That just feels like a fake team, kind of. I think I'd get the Sonics conflated with the Looney Tunes one that Michael Jordan was on.
The Space Jam.
Yes. Yeah. The Sonics and the Space Jam are the exact same thing to me.
That's funny.
Well, Sam, we're going to take a break before I completely dive into women's sports drama. Maybe might sneak in a little role play, and I got some very positive feedback on that from last time. Everyone loved your Southern accent, even though I was horrified. So, on the other side.
Wait, did you hear that? I think it was your back telling you to get a new mattress. And look no further than your friendly local mattress firm and shop top brands at the best prices. Not sure what works best for you? Visit in-store to crawl around, lay down, and relax as you sink into the bed that fits your mind, body, and soul. They deliver and will even come pick it up if you don't like it after your 120-night sleep trial. Break out of beds in a box and find the next bed of your dreams at Mattress Firm.
We're back. Never been better.
This reminds me, shout out Community Coffee. Would love to get you as a sponsor, but I'm way too scared to ask. Finally got this hat from my girl Sarah Catherine Siraj. I've been asking Carson Siraj for about a year now to get a Community Coffee hat because merch is, of course, huge. And this is a rare hat. No one else has it. So thank you, Community Coffee. And very specifically, Sarah Catherine, for following through on what my best friend couldn't. Anyways, also, I was at this weird comedy show called Gay Mystery and I think I had the highlight of my life. This girl, I raised my hand and she called to me and said, "Backwards hat girl." And I was like, wow, I'm finally seen. I was like, wow, I am backwards hat girl.
That is me.
It's me. I'm finally, yes. I think I was the only lesbian in there with a backwards hat too. So I felt pretty special.
Speaking of backwards hat girl, dare we tease the return of a fan favorite holiday?
Oh my God, Sam. Sam texted me. Sam has been hacked 100% on his phone. I swear we'll get to the WNBA, but he's been sending me the craziest messages of my life. He first says, he texts me, "Ooh, Kirby, hey, there's a really big problem." I thought I was canceled beyond cancel. But he said, let's see. "Kirby, we've made a grave error."
Grave error.
I almost threw up through all of my orifices. But then he goes, "We forgot all about International Dress Like Kirby Day." Sam, what made you think of that?
I was bored because, as we mentioned in the first part, girlfriend was in Ghana for a little bit. So I was just kind of looking at people's Instagrams and I was like, oh, I haven't really seen a lot of the reels posted by the Kirby Ferris show on Instagram. And I'm just going through and it's either that account or the next one. I don't know. I'm following, but they're just not there.
You should repost them. I don't know why you don't repost them.
I will. But I saw the one where it's like,
to do that too. I have this hidden fear that I think you don't like the podcast and you're ashamed of it.
Nope. not true. But anyway, I saw the post from last year, and I'm like, oh yeah, just like Kirby Day.
Mm-mm. And then
that was that.
I said, I feel like I'm going to be canceled in a way I couldn't wiggle out of. And then he says, hiding something, Ferris? You've never called me Ferris in my life. Ever.
I'm
showing
up.
Caroline. She's convinced you've been hacked too. And then he says, hey, you want to talk about Love Island on the podcast? What? You must have been really bored. And then he said, period, queen.
Oh, well, that's after you said we can use the Gen Z language.
That is the main reason. That wasn't
out of context.
Okay, but you said it, though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our queens in the WNBA to set the scene before I truly believe that Sam is about to rip off his skin mask and turn into a Gen Z robot. We're in the midst of the Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah, and what's at stake?
In-season tournament. What's at stake, Sam? $500,000. I have no clue how it's divvied up. I'm pretty sure it's not per player, but there's a lot on the line. Given that these women don't make any money, the Commissioner's Cup, I think it's the second year, yeah, maybe third, but taking it from the NBA, it's been much more successful than the NBA's. Probably because the money means something to these players, whereas $500,000, even as much as like it takes LeBron James to step on the court for 5 minutes. But this year, it's going to be between the Fever and the Lynx. This is the second back-to-back appearances for the Lynx. They won it last year. But notably, of course, the Fever's in it this year. They were actually in a tie between the Liberty, but because the Fever beat the Liberty and the Commissioners in the tournament, they are in it. So look, it's going to be a good one. It's on July 1st. I suggest all of you tune in because the Lynx are kind of a machine, just like the Liberty is. And we're going to really see how the Fever can step up to this one because notably last year at this time, the Fever were god-awful. So we're going to see if they can make a run. I think this will be an early look for whether the Fever are that baby, are that girl. Right? I don't know why I said baby.
That's that legit.
Anyways.
After that queen.
Yeah, or that period queen.
Period queen.
Yeah, they don't want to be the period queen. That's literally the worst part of the month.
So anyway, the Fever were playing the Sun.
The WNBA is getting absolutely heated. And I am so here for it because we are putting full display what the real deal is, guys. Talk of the town, the Fever and the Sun. This is the point, Sam, where we might role play a little bit. And then, or I'm just going to talk to you for a very long time. So the Fever and the Sun played Monday. Doesn't really matter because it's still very topical now. 3 players. These are all different levels of fouls and punishments that can happen in a WNBA game. 3 players were charged with technical fouls. 1 was charged with a flagrant 1 foul, and 2 were charged with a flagrant 2 foul. Sam, do you know the difference for our listeners? Maybe put it into colloquial terms.
Yeah, I think a technical, I don't know the actual ruling, but it's like a basketball play, but it's like a really hard foul.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, above a normal foul. A flagrant 1, that becomes when it's not a basketball play. So, I don't know, you're kind of going and you hit someone's face above the shoulders kind of thing. I think the difference between 1 and 2 is whether it was intentional or not. I could be wrong on that one.
Meant it. Whether you did it with your chest, which Renee Mayberry actually did. But the thing is, sometimes you can get charged with a technical, and it was a basketball play, but most of the time it's just for scuffles or fighting, which people are calling this incident between the Sun and the Fever, which I think is ridiculous that Caitlin Clark only got charged with the technical because she was shoving and talking shit multiple times in this game. But the flagrant 2, which is the intentional girly bops, just throwing down, were the 2 enforcers of the teams and probably top 5 of the league, really. Sophie Cunningham, who I said last time, y'all, she's that bitch. At the end of the game, literally with 45 seconds left, she pulled a WWE move, headlock, tossed this girl to the ground, got back up, stood in front of her, and then there was a major brawl type thing that really could have escalated. Out. It was like actually kind of insane. I posted an Instagram reel, which I thought would have gotten more traction. I thought it was very funny. So you should go check that out. And then Marina Mabrey, again, just honestly, she might be babyface of the league right now. She's been just so screwed over. But she said, hey, Kaylin, I'm done with this. Why don't you stop being a little pussy ass bitch and play some ball? So this all happens because she showed up and put a chest on Caitlin Clark and actually knocked her to her feet. There was no flopping, no flailing, excessive shit. Like, she put her chest on, that was it, and went flying. Girl, I wish I could do that. But the real shit, though, Sam, the Fever are bullies. They're the bullies in the league. They're the 90s Piston bad boys. And they're led by Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. Look, I know this might be a tough turnaround here from last year. When everyone likes to paint Caitlin Clark as this holy figure that is shoved around all the time. I looked up, this scuffle or whatever on the internet, and the videos that come up are face firing after dirty gouging because Caitlin got hit in the eye. Caitlin Clark gets bumped to the ground for shoving Sheldon. Sorry. Caitlin Clark got poked in the eye and shoved to the ground. Tuesday night, WNBA got intense because the tension was thick all game. And it was even worse because she's playing this girl, JC Sheldon, who had this Big Ten battle all of college. JC played at Ohio State, obviously playing Iowa their entire college career. So it's so crazy. It was crazy to watch the highlights, but you can't catch the highlights. The WNBA obviously won't post them, so you have to go digging. But what really got started was JC Sheldon and Clark were going at it. And then the first time Marina Mabrey comes and gives Caitlin Clark a good push. No, barely arms extended. But, Caitlin stumbles a little bit. Following this, that's in the second quarter. Following this, Caitlin starts taunting JC Sheldon, saying, JC's like, oh, you can't do that because Caitlin Clark fouled her. And then Caitlin Clark said, and no one is talking about this, I can do whatever I want, and shoves her back. No one is talking about that. Caitlin Clark's over here, I can do whatever I want. This is my fucking league. Like, I guess, but I don't know, guys. Caitlin Clark is not babyface. She cannot be babyface anymore. The Fever are always pretending like they didn't do anything. She'll push someone, there's this whole scuffle, and then she's all the way on the other side of the court walking away like she didn't do anything. But then, this is when it all came busted open. Third quarter, JC Sheldon is playing hard defense on Caitlin Clark. We're talking body bumping, not letting her drip penetrate, and she pops her in the eye. Just to, I would call that a technical, maybe a flagrant one because it was to the head and, you wouldn't your hand shouldn't be up there, And then Caitlin Clark shoves JC Sheldon. And then that's where Mabrey says, this is my fucking team. Get out of here. And chest bumps Caitlin Clark to heaven. So, but then, right, then we have the whole last fourth quarter, Sophie Cunningham stuff, and everyone's saying, oh, Sophie Cunningham is protecting Caitlin Clark, blah, 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 blah. Caitlin doesn't need anyone to protect her. She's True. A bully too. She is the number one bully on the team. And it's deserved, be who you can afford to be. Like, what's that guy's name who was on the Grizzlies and now plays for the Rockets?
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks is a menace that cannot back it up. However, Draymond Green, a menace and a bully that can back it up.
That does back it up, yeah.
Caitlin Clark, she'll push you. She won't get called for it, and then she'll drain a 3 in your face. That can't, I mean, how is that not frustrating? But seriously, guys, let's change the dynamic on how we're talking about this shit with Caitlin Clark. But I do love that all of this scuffle was between white girls. So shout out to the white girls, getting down and dirty. The black girls completely stayed out of it. Otherwise, we'd probably have a race war started on Juneteenth if Caitlin Clark got shoved to the ground by Brittany Griner. God forbid Andrew Reeves.
Oh boy, that'd be a rough one.
It would be a rough one, guys. And of course, Stephen A is saying, "Wow, Caitlin Clark, the viewership dipped when she was out." Guys, the league is here to stay. I'm so sorry. Caitlin Clark is great. She's beloved. I'm here for it. 100%. Caitlin Clark, top 3, honestly, in the league right now. Might actually be Nafisa Collier followed by Caitlin Clark because Asia Wilson's out and the Aces have been having a tough turn. But y'all need to stop protecting Caitlin Clark. She doesn't need it. She's a 23 or whatever. She's a grown-ass woman, and she's in a position making enough money that she can handle herself, guys. Don't worry about it. No one's trying to bully Caitlin Clark. No one is jealous of Caitlin Clark. They're just there to play ball. But I did pull a quote that I forgot to put in here. And I took the effort of slowing it down on YouTube and then transcribing myself. We all saw all of this happen. Everyone was pushing everyone. And then at the end of the press conference, this is the coach, Stephanie White. And I think she's a part of how we've gotten to the bully ball as well. She's a hard-nosed coach.
Probably,
she said, Sophie, get out there, do whatever the hell you need to do. She said, Caitlin, get out there, be who you can afford to be, snipe them. She says at the end in this press conference, of course the media is asking about it, about the incident and, getting heated. She goes, actually, why don't you do it? You be Stephanie White.
Here we go. I'm Stephanie White. All right. This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, and when allow them to play physical, they're going to compete, and they're going to have their teammates back. It's exactly what you expect.
I don't disagree with that statement. The WNBA is old school basketball. And I think that's why it's catching on, because the NBA is so, oh my God, you hit me.
They're soft. That's what Kirby's saying. NBA is soft.
The NBA is soft. They're afraid of
old
the
school
mid-range, and they do not go into the paint. What are we doing, guys? Paige Becker is the best mid-range shooter I think you'll ever see, at least this season. Caitlin can hit it from 3, but look, if I had to put money on it, on who is going to win a championship, let's say, we're doing a head-to-head. Who's going to win that game? It's the team that can hit the mid-range. And we need to bring the mid-range back.
Bring it back.
That's a fact. Quote it. Put it on a t-shirt. Bring the mid-range back. Sam, they're going to have their teammates back. If someone scruffles you up, look, I'd be there for you.
Thank you.
If someone scruffles me up, I'm not sure you'd be there for me. But I think that's fair. I think it's totally fine because I probably started it.
I'd just be off the side, be like, yep, consequences.
Just don't be the person that's trying to pull me back. If I finally get into a fight,
I'm like, all right.
Pull out the camera, whether I get my ass beat or not. I want footage.
We're making content.
Yes. Whatever happened to World Star, I don't know. I miss it dearly.
Oh.
Guys. But yeah, Sophie Cunningham, literally, what did I say? She was raised by Diana Taurasi, who was probably the biggest bully back in the day. Absolute pest. Talked great shit. Could ball out. Kind of like what Caitlin Clark is doing right now. That was Diana Taurasi. But Sophie Cunningham was raised to be a Draymond Green. She's 6'1", 165, and she's Draymond Green of the WNBA. So we're talking... If feist was a noun, she has it.
Watch your back.
Definitely watching my back. And she's blonde. I mean, come on. Caroline. I'm calling Caroline in. If we're doing like a John Cena, The Rock duo tag in, I'm getting Caroline on my side because she's going to go for the knees. She's going to bite the knees just like
there you go.
Dan Campbell said.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, what are your what do you think about all of this?
What do I think about all this? It's kind of like what you had said before, how it just feels like a different brand of basketball between the NBA and the WNBA, and these emotions and these rivalries in the W, they feel really authentic, and it makes for a good viewing experience. I'm excited to see what happens, Sucks for the officials, but that's what they get for being officials.
Yeah, I don't know what the officials are going to do. Maybe that's how the NBA became the NBA, is that all these people started fighting, and it got to a point where we had to say, hey guys,
overcorrect,
let's play the game. Yeah. But Keelan's like, look, it's a part of the game. I'm just here to play the game. Girly pop, I guess shoving's a part of the game. I'm fine with that. Let's do it. Let's call that a part of the game. But own up to it. If you're going to do a dirty tackle, get up off of that ground and say, oh, sucks to be you.
Sucks to be you.
Oh, and with that, we're going to take a break, see you on the other side, and we're going to play a little game called Choose Your Starting Five, the Women Edition, on the other side with the Kirby Ferris Show.
This ad is not for children. Get hype this season with Celsius, the essential energy drink that just won't quit. Celsius is the only way to go during the Raiders-Commanders game, where taking a shot every time there's a 3-and-out isn't going to work anymore. Whether you're feeling the 3 p.m. slump, about to work out, or need to get that electric feeling back before the afternoon slate of games, get energized by giving Celsius a try. Again, not for children.
And we're back.
Sam, this might be one of the better segments we will do. Mm-hmm. This is, some might say, a little... it's definitely not a novel idea, but since we're talking WNBA, and that's my main gig right now, and we're talking, it's Pride Month, we got my one queer, and then we got Sam over here. We're going to play a draft of our starting 5 queer players in the WNBA. It's going to be a draft. I have collected a list of names via Autostraddle. Shout out, cite your sources. So anything, and they have their sources. They got an intern to really do a good job, deep dive into the internet. So if any of this is wrong, look, what can you do? It's the internet. And I'm sorry, I guess, generally for querying you, right? What's the word?
Yeah.
Querying you.
Queerifying.
And Sam, what are the rules here? We're gonna do
what
this
are the
official,
rules?
Actually.
I didn't know we had rules. All right. Just back and forth.
It's back and forth. And then we're actually going to do front court and back court. We learned this recently. So I don't know how you want to do it. If you want to do your guards first and then everyone else, or
I was just going to do all of them at once.
What do you mean? That's not how it goes.
I thought we were just drafting a team. I think we're on the same page.
Okay, we're on the same page. We know how this works. All right, you're going to do rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. You ready?
Hang on, let me think.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. We're on a lag. Okay.
I could go to one of those coin flipping sites.
That's not interesting. Rock, paper,
scissors,
shoot. Oh, I won again. I threw paper, he had fist, and some hairy knuckles, Sam. That's quite masculine of you. So I get to go first. My first pick, Breanna Stewart.
All right.
Obviously.
All right.
Good luck. Your team's going to suck.
That was going to be my first pick.
My team of queers is going to stomp all over yours.
You don't know about my strategy, though. All right. This might just be a spite pick, but I'll take Paige Beckers.
All right. That's cool with me. Next, I'm going to go Kalia Copper. She's from Philly. Badass bitch. I don't want to step on the court with her.
All right. I'm going to round out the backcourt and take Arike Ogunbowale.
Oh, come on. You know that's my favorite player right now.
Listen,
your strategy is just to spite me. Got it. He comes in here
It
saying,
didn't start out that
yeah.
way. You don't have the strategy yet. You haven't seen
I got
my
a strategy. So, all right, my last one for the front court, because that's my strategy I adopted. Jonquil Jones. I will note she was out in the Fever game. So take that as you will.
Right.
And her and Breanna Stewart already play together. Come on. Cut it out. We got a mom and Breanna Stewart. She can boss the team around. Jonquil Jones, random like 6'5" player that can hit like score you 30 in a game. Okay, your turn.
My turn.
I don't know who you're going to pick for your front court.
I'm trying to figure out the next. Well, I am going to take Alyssa Thomas.
That's okay. I already got my front court figured out. Next up, obviously, I'm going to go Chelsea Gray, the point guard.
All right. Here's where my strategy unveils itself.
Oh, no.
Pairing with Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner.
That's smart. You got to get that chemistry in there.
The power of love on my team. Try to beat that.
I mean, they were pretty good last year together, but also, do I want two clickety-clack 35-year-olds on my team? No. Do I want two moms?
You don't understand love.
I'm like totally leaning into sexism right now. Two moms in the same household. That means if one of their kids is sick at night, they're both out. That I think should be taken into consideration. Am I almost done? Yeah, I have one more pick.
One more pick.
All right, who am I going to pick? Do I go with Kate Martin just to really round out? I don't know if she'd fit the team chemistry, but every team needs a white girl, and you already took Paige. I'm going to go Kate Martin. Yeah. Sorry, Dejanay, you're on the bench. Kate Martin, you're there for team chemistry and to be the fun, the loosey-goosey one that, slots in, gets a couple threes, plays some lockdown defense, new to the league, great energy. Great vibes, and you're going to fit... Oh, I guess I already have Breanna Stewart on my team, but the young white girl, because Breanna Stewart comes from a different generation of, hey, cut it out. Let's finish this out.
My final pick, I'm choosing Kirby Ferris, and just like that, I get all your players too.
Whoa!
No, I'm joking. My actual final pick, throwback to the beginning of the show when I said that there was a WNBA player who I went to high school with, Alyssa Cunane. Didn't know she was going to be on this list, but just like that, more chemistry on the team. Can have some Greensboro.
Are we GM? Like we're GMs. We're not the coaches.
Sure, yeah.
Well, then of course I call Stephanie White as my coach. Sorry about it.
Did the coaches have to be lesbians?
Do you want me to feed you one?
No. I'm gonna go college, and I'm gonna steal Courtney Banghart from UNC.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. Also a lesbian, so.
But yeah, the coach had to be a lesbian.
Sticking to it. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, I would have gone Cheryl Reeves for that one. She has like 4 championships. So look, but Stephanie White is teaching him bully ball, and I think she will go perfectly with Kalia Copper and Chelsea Gray. And then maybe maybe Kate Martin can be the enforcer on this team. Maybe that's her role.
Maybe. Yeah.
Nope, I'm sorry. I gotta get rid of Kate Martin. If my coach is Stephanie White, I gotta go Dejanay Carrington. We just gotta bring all of that energy, that down in we're gonna kick your ass kind of energy. Sorry, Kate, right. You're on the bench. Kate, 6-man. 6-1 off the bench. Perfect.
All right, then here's the other part of my strategy. Here's the other strategy. If you're taking Dejanay, I'm taking Alyssa Smith. Just like that, I've broken up a household.
Whoa. I think,
I'm
sorry, Dejanay Carrington's going to come up on top of that breakup. So, look, everyone wins in a breakup, and Dejanay is not letting go. She's a winner.
Respect all the women we just named.
Yes, we do. And every woman, and every queer person.
And every woman, and every queer person.
And all the Sam Alts in the world.
All the Sams. Let's go. There were at least 2 to my knowledge, but one's
really
passed away. So
R.I.P.
R.I.P. It's been a couple of years, so we're all good.
This got dark. I think that was fun, Sam. Thank you for participating, guys. If you want to comment your starting 5 queer girlies, queer people in the WNBA, drop that in the comment. We'd love to get a discussion going.
Or even if you want to start, or if you want to list your starting 5 queer people in general. They don't have to be in the W. Sorry, I've already drafted Kirby, so no one else can take her.
Wait, but what do I do?
You can draft like Caroline, you know?
I'm not drafting Caroline.
All right, then I'm also drafting Caroline. I'm going to continue my strategy.
Shut up. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Sam, for joining. Please like, subscribe, follow at Sam Ald, at Ald Sam, at Kirby Ferris Show. Yeah, is there anything else?
I think we've done it.
Let's wish LSU a great weekend, and we'll be back next week to keep you updated on the NBA Finals. Goodbye.
See ya.